version of him might do for you guys?
Oh, it's exciting. It's exciting to watch Dante run around out there. You know, he's 235 pounds. He's fast. He's explosive. You know, we've got him in what we feel is a good spot. So we're excited. He's had a good camp so far. We got a lot left, and he keeps coming. We're going to be, hopefully, we'll be pleased at the end of the season as we are right now.
What does he do that really suits your defense?
Well, he's a big explosive athlete, and he's out in space. So if you want to go ahead and put a receiver on him, he can run good enough to cover. And if you want to try to block him with a receiver, it's a long day, you know, for that to get the perimeter run going, because Dante's such a big guy. So when you have that combination of size and speed like he had, we can take advantage of it.
Do you sense in him, because he missed almost all of last year, just an extra determination?
With Dante, I don't think there's any such word as extra. He is so driven. I mean, he wants it so bad. As long as I've known him, he's that driven. I don't think there's any extra. I mean, he is full throttle, wants it as bad as anyone I've been around.
How has Chris made the adjustment inside? Obviously, I know he was transitioning there anyway in the spring, but how is it? Is he growing more comfortable, I suppose?
He is. You know, and our offense is really challenging us with a lot of great concepts. So you combine learning the new position in the defense with the offense that we were really excited about. He's challenging us, and he's growing faster. It's actually making us grow faster. And I think Chris is doing a nice job transitioning to the Mike backer position.
What's the biggest strides Jerome Baker has made from this time a year ago to now? Because you were paying attention last year, I'm sure.
Yeah, with Jerome, I think he's just got his football IQ is high to begin with, and I think it's growing. And when you take a fast player that's twitched up like he is, and he thinks clearly and knows he knows, now you actually increase his speed. Yeah. So Jerome is getting faster and faster the more strong understanding he has.
Phil, does Dante look like, and is he acting like a guy he's won a starting job here before and then he got hurt, you know, last year and stuff? Does he have that kind of like presence about him?
He has a drive. Yeah. He knows. If anybody knows how quick it can be taken away through circumstances out of your control, it's Dante. So every day he comes to work. He doesn't complain. He just works. Because he knows. He knows he got all the way to this point last year and it was taken away.
You know, he was able to beat out Jerome last year, and we all saw what Jerome did, which might give us an idea of, I mean, are people underestimating how good is Dante Booker? I mean, like, is he somebody that could turn out to be one of the best linebackers in this country, considering the fact that he beat out somebody that has an argument in that conversation?
Yeah, well, I think Dante is taking strides every day, and we really are excited about him. He's got the explosiveness, the twitch, the speed, the power, all that stuff. That they both are very, very similar, but we have to do it on the field, and that's the challenge now, right? There's potential, and then there's getting it done. And I love the way Dante's going right now.
But the speed with him too, because I think a lot of people envisioned that he was just a bigger-bodied guy, but he's every bit as fast as Jerome. You think?
Maybe not every bit, but almost every bit. It's close. It's tough to be as fast as Jerome.
You have some guys that are banged up.
About all your starters right now, but what about your depth guys? Who's making a jump and might make more of a contribution than you previously thought going into this fall?
Well, we've got a lot of solid backups. We're really 3 deep. You know, I think we're happy with that. Now we've got some guys in orange shirts and working through shoulders, and so there's guys not getting as many reps as we would like to see the pure competition happen. But we believe we're 3 deep at every position, and they're learning and a little bit interchangeable. But it's you know, it's a lot to learn, and those guys are coming. And as soon as everybody's healthy, we'll have a more dynamic.
Yeah, Malik and Barron both dealing with shoulders. How are they coming along?
They're coming along fast. Everything's great. You know, we're holding them back like we should right now, because the early part of the shoulder rehab you got to be real careful with. But then once it goes, when it's just about pain tolerance, then we'll cut them loose.
They both had surgery.
What's that?
I'm sorry, and they both had surgery in the spring. Is that right on their shoulder?
Yes. Yeah.
Malik's somebody that was being raved about a lot. I mean, what have you seen from last year? I mean, what makes him a guy that's getting so much, pub like that?
The size athleticism combination. He is a 6'3", 240-pound athlete that moves, wins the basketball dunk competition on the team, which is a lot. You know, he's just that kind of an athlete and that big, and we're really excited about what he's going to bring.
Keandre Jones is another guy that was wearing orange when we were out there. What do you expect from Keandre this year, and how's he doing with whatever injury?
Keandre's doing great too. He had a minor setback. It was just a one-day deal. That we had to put him in orange so he could still get his reps, but he's fine now. He's out of the orange. Keandre is a lot like Bake, very fast, very twitched up, can put his foot in the ground and go. He's playing right behind Bake and trying to push him as hard as he can. So we feel real comfortable with Keandre right behind Bake, because they're very similar athletes.
You've coached in a lot of places, pro level. How good is this coaching staff, the 9 of them?
I tell you what, that's probably one of the most impressive pieces of this. I think it's kind of not talked about as much, but Coach always talks about 9 strong, and every position has a really experienced, solid, all-in, do it the Ohio State Buckeye way coaching staff. So when we get aligned, it's easier for the team to get aligned. And right now, I'm very impressed with the staff and how the cohesion of the staff.
Because you've got guys, coordinators at the NFL level, head coach at the NFL level, now coordinators or position coaches here. Potentially that could be an issue because I almost feel like you're overqualified. People could think that way, but I don't get the sense that that's the way it is here.
That's the beauty of it. Nobody does. It's all of us against the opponent, and egos at the door. I'll do it any way. I've done it so many different ways. I want to do it the Ohio State way. Because I know we've all been around long enough to know, and we've had those leadership roles. When you have a leadership role, you know what you want the people underneath you, how do you want them to act. And if it's linear, that's how you win. And right now, I think we've got a bunch of guys that, because they've had those higher positions, it's easier to take that role. And I talk about myself, for instance. It's easier for me to be a position coach, having been a coordinator. I know exactly what I want, and now I'm trying to give Greg Channel that guy. And I think everybody's doing that.
Bill, Chris said at Big Ten Media Days that Luke Fickell did a good job of making sure every backer knew every spot. Is that something that obviously you continue, and then how prepared would Malik be if somebody were to go down and step in at any of those 3 spots?
That is always the goal, but what trips that up is injuries and missed time. So if you're out there taking reps and you really have it down, then you can do that more often. Like we've had some injuries, taking some guys that we can't train, but our Sams and our Wills are interchangeable. It's if I take anybody and put them at the mic that they've got to learn a little bit more and see it a little bit.
So what does that say about Chris that he was able to make that transition in one off season?
No, that was great. That's great. But he's only been Mike. What I'm saying is, like right now, if I want to take a Sam and make him a Mike, now right at this point, it's going to take a lot of work. But when we moved him right away and he had all the spring reps and he has all these, now that's what he feels comfortable with now.
Who's behind Chris and Mike right now, though?
It's a battle. They're battling it out right now. I mean, you got them all in there. You got Tuff, you got Justin, you got Barron.
Can you talk more about Tuff and Justin and what you expect from Tuff Borland and Justin Hiller this year?
Great. Yeah. Eddie, they're all in too. That's what I'm saying. We're 3 deep easy. And, I have Tuff and Justin playing Mike and Will and interchangeable so we can get the reps going. So they're doing a great job knowing an inside and an outside backer position. And they're getting a lot of reps out there, and they're getting better every day.
And Pete Werner?
Pete's coming on.
Yeah.
Pete's, he's young. He wasn't here in the spring.
Right.
So he's got to make more of his mistakes, but that's the best way to learn. He's a smart kid. And when he sees it and screws it up, he thinks about it, and then it doesn't happen again. And Pete will be fine by the time he gets all his reps in.
Who have you seen make kind of the biggest leap since the spring? Has anyone really taken a step forward?
I don't think I can put it on one person. I really don't. I think the group is moving in a direction together, and we're getting better every day. I don't see anybody falling behind. I don't see anybody jumping way ahead.
Has anyone surprised you in particular?
I tell you what, I'm surprised. I'm happily surprised with how there are 3 deep. There are 6 guys, that you really can, count on, and there's 9 that you say you go start with. You really are. You can.
Raekwon's been named a starter in Miami. Are you surprised? I mean, is that what you expected out of him?
Yeah, Raekwon, the way he works. The rest of the NFL, I just don't. And we tried to get the message out. I don't think they knew how much it means to him and how he's going to do whatever it takes. And he's that special kind of guy. So it surprises nobody here, but we're all very happy.
You mentioned Malik's athleticism, and he was a quarterback. He played everything in high school. How firm is his grasp on playing linebacker now?
He's the linebacker part. He understands how to play defense. The line's big. He's a good tackler. He's got range. He understands coverage. And I just think it's a matter of getting him in there and getting the shoulder right so we can get real live reps to get him better. He had a share last year. I say he had 40, 50 snaps.
I think people are curious about rotation as it pertains to your position group. Are you envisioning something where it's like the defensive line, that you're confident in multiple guys being out there no matter the down and distance, or is it more, some guy needs a breather for one play?
Oh God, no, it's fluid. I've learned over time that's the best way to go. Every time you can do a rotation, you want to. It helps the guys when they're out there on the field play better. Nobody gets tired, overworked. You have packages. We've got all kind of ways to get good athletes on the field.
How many guys do you want in your rotation?
Hey, it depends. Game day. What do you need? Who are you playing? You playing Army? You playing? Who are you playing? So there's, I want as many as I can get. As many as I can get.
So how do you change it based on you're playing a team such as Oklahoma that kind of spreads you out versus a team like Army that obviously runs a triple option? So how does the preparation change week by week?
Yeah, well, that's you kind of when you get in on Sunday, you erase the slate and you say, okay, what's the new set of challenges? What are they doing schematically? First of all, who are their good players? Who are ours? What scheme are they running? What is our scheme that stops that? So it's a chess match each week with personnel and pieces as well as scheme.
How much does Jerome's example last year show the rest of the room to be ready? And has that contributed to you having 9 guys or 6 guys?
Absolutely. Jerome got up and talked to a lot. He's talked to a lot of them, and he said, "Look, guys, this time last year, I was in a backup mindset, and all of a sudden I became a starter, and all of a sudden I got real nervous, and every day I had a knot in my gut, and I didn't do enough to prepare." And he really had a strong message for all the guys. And now I think they saw it. And what happened to Jerome may happen to me. I'm going to be more ready than he was.
Bill, Nick Connor is listed on the roster as injured. Is he still around, you guys?
He's in and out.
Okay.
He's in and out.
As a first-year full-time assistant on this staff, what do you feel like are things you've been able to bring to this linebacker group and this defense?
Well, I think everybody brings their own experiences and knowledge, and really what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to do the best job of getting Greg Schiano's defense and how his vision of how the linebackers play within it to be exactly what his vision is. Because having been a coordinator, that's what I want from every position. Just please, this is my vision. Can you get that group to play within this vision? And that's my goal right now. That's what I try to do every day.